apnea issue. Well, it opened my eyes to why I was so at low energy in the mornings, even though I thought I was getting a good night's sleep. It's because I was waking up in the middle of the night because of my sleep apnea. Well, there's an FDA-approved oral device presented by Dr. Brian McLaughlin and his team at the Sleep Apnea and TMJ Solution Center. That device can help you sleep better. It gently holds the jaw forward, the airway stays open, and you sleep through the night. They're approved with most insurance plans in the state of Tennessee, and they're an approved community care provider with the VA, helping veterans sleep and live better. Friends, the treatment works, and I'm a testimony to it. If you cannot tolerate a CPAP machine, or if you don't know, it's time to make the call that so many others have made. Start the journey by going to TennesseeSleep.com. That's TennesseeSleep.com, and do what I did at the Sleep Apnea and TMJ Solution Center.
Quarterback pick was a good thing for us?
You know, I just got asked by a loyal listener as I was coming back on air, 24 after the hour, by the way, if the and I don't know why anybody would think that I would know, but whether the quarterback selection was good for the Titans. Now, y'all know when I moved to the state of Tennessee, I made a couple of announcements about sports affiliations. I'd never been a hockey fan, but I am now. I'm a Predators fan, so that's all well and good. I will always be an Atlanta Braves fan for as much as I am a baseball fan. I will always be a Georgia Bulldog. And I grew up a fan of the Atlanta Falcons. And I immediately dumped the Atlanta Falcons as soon as I moved the U-Haul across the state lines and said, I'm a Titan. Because being an Atlanta Falcons fan is just a lifetime of disappointment. Nobody that was a Tennessee Titans fan told me that being a Tennessee Titans fan is also a lifetime of disappointment. Nobody told me this. But apparently it has been the case at least over the last 10 or 15 years. So, yes, we suffered through last year. It was woeful. You wanted Will Levis to be that guy. I'm hopeful. I mean, I'm hopeful that Cam Ward is that guy. I don't know.
The problem is, if nobody's going to block for him, he's never going to.
Well, that's right. That's right. My man over there is saying the problem is if nobody blocks for him, then how much an assessment. You got to give him time, and you got to give him somebody to protect him. You know what? No quarterback, if they don't get 3 seconds in the backfield, no quarterback's going to do the job. But hopefully, we're hopeful, and there's more to come tonight. As I believe, I don't know if it started already or not, but there's more draft to come tonight.
Yep, it's underway.
Is it underway? Okay.
Yep.
Titans might have already selected by now. Chris, update us as to whether the Tennessee Titans have picked 35th, I think.
They did pick, but I did not catch who they picked, so I have to look it up.
I'll look it up on my end. While we do that, let's talk to Edward, who is in Estelle Springs, if I'm not mistaken. Hello, Edward. Welcome in.
Hey, Matt. I wanted to start by thanking you for taking my call. And earlier you were talking about property tax. And now this is coming from a retired citizen. Optimally would be if there was no property tax. All your taxation would come through sales or a different means, because then you would be truly in control of what you're having to spend. Once you have a fixed retirement, the idea that a mayor can just summarily raise what you now owe them while your income did not go up how is that possibly proper? But second would be to have a fixed property tax rate, and then when the property is sold, because historically you move about every 5 years, so you're selling where you're at and you're buying something new. When the property is sold, then the new property owner who agreed to pay that amount would pay the property tax at that new rate. What is your thought?
Well, I'm trying to I apologize, Edward, but I'm trying to keep up with you there on the fixed rate issue. So you started by saying that the ultimate goal would be to have no property taxes, right?
Correct.
Right. And you may be aware, you may not be aware, that there was actually there's a constitutional amendment that we're going to be voting on in November of 2026 that will forever prohibit anyone in our state government from passing or increasing or passing a state property tax without a new constitutional amendment. In other words, right now there is a statewide property tax that is allowed, but the rate is currently 0, Edward. Right. And so what this amendment would do would be to eliminate that ability for the state legislature to pass a tax. So all property taxes that we currently pay are paid locally, or via local municipality or citywide government or countywide government. So explain to me what you're talking about again on a fixed rate. Just give me the 25-cent tour one more time.
Okay, so let's say the tax rate is 1% of the property value that you paid. You paid, let's say, for every 100,000 in sales, you'd pay, say, 1% per year.
Okay.
Now, when Matt sells his house in 5 years, because that's about the turnover, the average, when you sell your house, you might sell your house for $200,000.
Right.
So the next person in line that buys that house now, instead of paying $1,000 per year, would be paying $2,000.
Isn't that the way? I mean, isn't that the way that we do reassessment? I mean, that's. You're saying that it remains fixed until the sale of the home?
Correct.
Well, I wouldn't have a problem with that at all.
Yeah, after the sale of the home, it could still remain fixed. you were in control of that purchase. Therefore, you are also in control of how much tax you would pay. You would not become a victim of a mayor that wants more money to spend. And this would not become an issue every year where people are being taxed out of their homes. That's literally what's going on in Nashville.
If I'm understanding the idea is that so it maintains a fixed rate even after you sell the house for an additional amount?
Well, yeah. What changes, though, is the property value. So, the
rate, the total amount of money that you pay is based on the value of the home and the rate that you're paying, right?
Yeah,
the percentage.
let's say hypothetically it's 1%. So if you can afford a $500,000 home and $5,000 worth of property tax per year, well, that's fine. You can afford that. But what if I, as a retired man, can't afford $5,000 of property tax, but I could afford, say, $1,200 or $1,000? And the purchase price would dictate that tax for as long as you own that home, and then let these people live on a budget like everybody else.
I think I got it. But I do have to go, Edward. Thank you for the call. I'll see if I understand what Edward's trying to say. I think he's talking about a fixed rate for as long as you own the home, and the rate only changes based on the value, not the percentage, but the value upon the sale of the home. I think that's right. It's time for the news with Ken Weaver on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, friends, it's Matt Murphy for Eurofix. Eurofix wants you to know that most European auto repair companies, and really most repair companies generally speaking, they do not staff their locations with enough people to help you out as readily as they do at Eurofix. Eurofix staffs their locations with more staff than the average auto repair shop. They can be ready when an emergency pops out of nowhere on your vehicle. Friends, if you've noticed how hard it can be to get a right now appointment at a vehicle repair shop, some dealers simply are more than 2 weeks out to get an appointment. Not at Eurofix. Eurofix has been offering quality repairs that beats the dealer price, beats the dealer without dealer pricing since 1999 for 26 years. Plus, they offer a 3-year nationwide warranty and the staff to fix your car now. Not tomorrow, not next week, but right now. If you're tired of waiting forever for your car to get repaired, call Eurofix. Family owned for 26 years. 844-EUROFIX. That's 844-EUROFIX. Or visit MyEurofix.com. That's MyEurofix.com. Indeed, winding it down from Tim's Ford to Lake. We're at Twin Creeks Marina, just down from Drafts and Watercrafts. The restaurant is hopping tonight, and we'd love to see you on this Friday evening. We've got about 20 more minutes to go before we'll say goodnight and hand off to Mark Levin. I've got a couple of you on the phone lines, and we'll get to you in just a moment. Just to update you, because some were asking, the draft is ongoing, and for those interested, the Tennessee Titans, they obviously picked Cam Ward as the number one selection in the 2025 draft. They had the 35th selection. They traded the 35th selection for picks 52 and 82. So 52 would fall toward the back end of the second round, and then 82 would be in the third round. They didn't have a third-round selection, so the Titans have been pretty consistent that they are interested in getting more top 100 draft picks. And so that's an effort to do that. So they traded 35 to get 52 and 82. Just wanted to update those of you who were interested that they traded out of that selection with Seattle. Dave writes in and says, don't you mean the Tennessee Oilers? I've got Houston Oilers gear. You're going to see it Sunday. I got a nice Houston Oilers golf shirt. And several of you are blaming me, like Sandra says, you're the reason the Titans stink. Ha! There was a lot of reasons the Titans stunk last year, and I don't think I was one of them. I did my part, or at least I tried to do my best. Let's talk to Larry real quick in Clarksville. Larry, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, brother. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, of course.
On the property taxes in Nastyville, and, Matt, thank goodness I got out of there in 2020 before Mayor Munchkin raised them again. But at that time, I was paying $6,500 a year in property taxes.
What?
Yes.
That's insane,
yes,
man. It's a lot of money.
Well, then Mayor Munchkin, Mr. Eyebrow, Mr. Unibrow, raised them, and now the new mayor is raising them again. And my next-door neighbor, this is not about me. I called to tell you about my next-door neighbor. She was 94 years old, Matt. Her house, she had outlived her husband and two of her children. Her house had been paid for since 1970. But the darn property taxes got so expensive that she had to sell the house and move into assisted living. She was still walking 3 miles a day, singing in her church choir, and could run circles around me.
Well, at some point you're going to run folks out of Davidson County. If that's not already happened, it's going to happen soon. And sadly, you'll see further flight out of Davidson County as Freddie O'Connell attempts to get more money out of the taxpaying citizens. Now, we'll talk to Freddie about it next week. He'll be on the show next Thursday at 3 o'clock, and I'll question him on it, and we'll see.
All right. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, and I love you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no problem. Thank you. 42 after the hour. We are joined as we slowly begin to wrap things up. We're joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Scotty. What is going on, brother?
Not much. How are y'all?
Man, I'm doing great. You loving life?
I am loving life.
You have a normal life away from the lake. Last year you said you were running a restaurant. You still got that place?
We do. I've had it. This is my 20th year. So.
What is the name of that?
Oasis Steakhouse.
And that is like a local institution.
Yeah. I've been there since 2005.
And you just opened up Drafts and Watercrafts for the season, did you?
Yeah, we opened up Monday.
How's that going?
Well, if it wasn't raining, it'd be a lot better. We've had rain every day, so.
How in the world do you run two, man?
Well, what I do, I close the other one down in the summer.
Oh, do you really?
When I first done drafts here, we were seasonal, and I was having a lot of hard times trying to find employees.
Yeah, right.
So, because they're like, I'm not going to come here and work for 6 months out of the year and not have a job. So I closed the other one down, brought all the. So when we close here, they go to the Oasis and work. That's
a pretty good way of doing it.
So it keeps them employed year round.
And folks who want some delicious food like they enjoy at the Oasis can come out here and Drafts and Watercraft during the season. Do you have a favorite baby then? Oasis came first, but this has got to be. Come on, look at this.
Where else can you not come work on the water every day?
That's pretty nice.
But we've added a lot of stuff to our menu. A lot of your marina restaurants around have a very small menu. We do steaks and seafood, pizzas. You can get on TwinCreeksTFL.com and check out our menu online. We also have, cottages here that you can rent and stay on site. We have an RV park here at Twin Creeks. They have over 20 pontoons that they rent out. You can do all that on that TwinCreeksTFL.com website also. You can stay there, hit stay here, eat here, rent boats. You can do it all on that website.
Do you get, I imagine you get, and that's one of the reasons that we're here is we want to encourage folks from Nashville and from Hendersonville. You don't have to stay up there at the lake. You can come down here and enjoy Tim's Ford. It's absolutely gorgeous.
We're an hour away from Nashville. We got, a lot of the music stars are moving to Tim's Ford Lake. We have We've had Alan Jackson here usually about once a month. He's got a new home on the lake.
Really?
We've had Kane Brown here several times. Walker Hayes lives here on this lake. He's here about 3 days a week.
That's pretty cool.
So we've had a lot of guys. Thomas Rhett's been here. So we've had a lot of Dave Ramsey comes in maybe once a week. He has a house here on the lake. So
Matt Murphy's here occasionally.
Matt Murphy, Matt's signing autographs after 7.
That's not true. That's not true. What's the weirdest thing you've ever seen in the water, Scotty? That's what I want to know.
We have a koi that's been here for 5 years. And a guy told me that a koi will never live in this lake because he says it's too big. They're made for ponds. And we've got a koi that's probably about 10 or 12 pounds that's been here every year.
Holy moly. I know that I love the fact y'all got you got the little gumball machine full of fish food.
Yeah.
And the kids love feeding the fish. And the fish are smart. I mean, y'all can tell me that fish aren't smart, but these fish understand when people walk over there to that ledge that it's time to get fed.
When we're closed in wintertime, you'll come down here and you will not see a fish anywhere. We open up within like 3 days. I think they all call their friends and say, they're back open, and this place is flooded with fish.
Well, everybody knows and loves Scotty. Everybody's waving at you. It must be because you feed them good food.
That's right.
What's your favorite thing on the menu?
My favorite thing is I like our pizzas a lot. I've been eating, I like Bloody Marys. That's not food, but that's one of my favorite things.
Uh-huh.
And our steaks, we hand-cut all of our steaks in-house. So we have ribeyes and filet mignons. We have T-bone we've added this year. We do a flat iron. So
I mean, listen, I'm not against a good, delicious hamburger.
Yeah.
And so I'm not talking bad about a hamburger or a cheeseburger. But your menu, it's more than just, cheeseburgers and fries. You've got fine dining on the menu.
We've added trout this year, grilled trout. Now, we don't do fryers here. We're trying to do a more healthier option, but we do cheeseburgers and like I said before, the pizzas. We've added charcuterie boards this year, so we've got a lot of stuff going on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How long have you been cooking?
About 20 years.
I mean, so you started with the Oasis?
Yeah. Yeah. Never worked in a restaurant before in my life. So.
What?
Yeah.
You just tell me how that happened.
It's a long story. I don't think you got that long to.
Oh, come on! So you just decided you wanted to cook in a restaurant,
or? I had a friend that owned the Oasis. It was open 2 years before I took it over, and he went out. He asked me if I'd kindly watch it for him. I said I don't know nothing about a restaurant. He left to go out of town and never came back, and I ended up getting stuck with it.
What?
Yeah, I haven't seen him since. That was 20 years ago. He left me in charge and said, I'll get a hold of you. He cut his phone off and left. I've never seen him since.
Scotty.
Yes.
That's awesome. I don't know if I should be afraid to go down that rabbit hole further or
that's
not.
The short version. It's a little longer, but that's the short version.
So you had a buddy said, hey, can you watch my restaurant for me? I got to go out of town.
I said, I don't know nothing about a restaurant. He said, I'll have my phone on. Any questions you call, just make sure they're not leaving with everything in the restaurant.
Okay.
Call me, and when he left, probably 5 minutes, I forgot to ask him something. He cut his phone off and never cut it back on.
Well, I guess you don't have to pay him rent.
No.
Well, you're doing a fabulous job. Everybody knows you. Everybody loves you at the Oasis or at Drafts and Watercrafts, and we just invite folks to come down, whether it's today, tonight, this weekend, or sometime this summer. And y'all are open. Tell me the times that y'all are open during the summer months.
We're open 7 days a week. We're open Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday from 11 till 9. Thursdays we're open till 10, 11 to 10. Fridays and Saturdays 11 to 11, and Sundays 11 to 8. But starting next month, the first weekend in May, we're going to start doing brunch on Saturdays and Sundays. That'll be from 8:30 to 11.
Huh? You have a little Bloody Mary.
Oh yeah, some mimosas and.
Now, see, I've learned that if you want to get a good Bloody Mary, go to a place where the proprietor says that they like Bloody Marys.
We do infused. We infuse our vodka.
What the heck does that mean?
We infuse it in vegetables for 7 days before we serve it.
Like with okra and all that kind of stuff?
All kinds of stuff. It's got all kinds of tomatoes and peppers and squash, all kinds of vegetable and seasoning. We soak our vodka in it.
Holy moly! Wow, that sells itself.
Yeah, then we garnish it with a Cajun season on the rim, and then we have pickled okra, celery, and big queen stuffed olives that go in it.
After you have one or two of those Bloody Marys, have you ever fallen into the water, Scott?
No, but I've gotten close.
Have you ever seen anybody fall into the water, Scott?
Yes, we have.
Well, you never know what's going to happen on the lake.
Yeah, that's right. It's kind of like Vegas. What happens here on the lake stays here.
Well, that's exactly right. You'll take care of. Listen, thank you for your hospitality. You're very kind. That ginormous gummy bear is yours.
I know. I was looking. I love gummy bears.
Well, that's yours. I bought that down the street. Because I had a guest on earlier in the week that kept calling them Gummy Bears, and I thought, well, good gracious, I mean it's calling my name. So, but that's yours.
Did I hear this thing has 800 calories in it?
Yeah, it's 4. Look, see, it's 200 calories, but what? It's 4 servings, so it's 800 calories.
So I could eat like one ear one day and the ear another day, the leg one day.
Oh yeah. You
make
could
it stretch out.
Save it for later. That's what the stick's for. Just watch where that stick is poking.
That's right.
Listen, thank you in all sincerity. You're a great man. We appreciate you.
We appreciate y'all. And y'all going to be back and see us, May 23rd?
Absolutely. We're going to be back. That's Memorial Day weekend?
Yes, sir. Right, thanks a weekend before Memorial Day.
A weekend before Memorial. Well, look, we'll be back anytime you want us here.
All right.
I absolutely love it. Thank you,
Scotty.
Scotty.
You guys. Appreciate the time.
Yes, sir. That's 52 after the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. We'll be back to wrap things up in a moment. Indeed. Super Talk 99.7 WTN winding it down on a Friday edition. We're live at Twin Creeks Marina just down from Drafts and Watercrafts at Timms Ford Lake, and would love to see you. We'll be around for a little while after we shut it down and hand off to Mark Levin. I think we have enough time to get Billy in here from Murfreesboro. Billy, you are on your last up for the week on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. What's up, Billy?
Matt, man, I really appreciate you guys. I'm a 100% disabled Marine, and I just listen to y'all all day long. This is probably why I'm screwed up.
Well, I know I would be.
But listen, we don't have time to get into it, so I'm just going to tell you all to have a great, blessed weekend. And I want to tell Ken Weaver, 2 Okies ended up in Murfreesboro. What are the odds of that?
Oh, well, I mean, that just goes to prove that every community is not perfect, Billy.
Well, all right.
Yikes.
I'm gonna tell you, Matt Murphy, go Tigers. Maybe we might have a shot at beating you guys this next year.
Oh, listen, just about anybody's got a shot at beating us. It's good to talk to you, Billy. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your weekend, and thank you so much for calling in. I do appreciate you. Just one quick sports note. We mentioned that the Titans traded out of the 35th pick and got the 52nd and I think the 84th. One other note that is amusing because so many people are getting worked up about it on social media is the Shedeur Sanders side story. Apparently, Shedeur Sanders was convinced, and Team Sanders, they were convinced that they were going to be a top 10 pick or whatever. And he fell out of the first round. But then there was general consensus that he would go very, very quickly in the early rounds. He did not go very quickly in the early rounds. And apparently, he was not even the first quarterback off the board in this round. The Louisville quarterback, a fellow whose name I've never heard of, called Tyler Show, quarterback from Louisville, was just taken by the New Orleans Saints ahead of Shedeur Sanders. There was a Sanders taken at 41st. It was T.J. Sanders to the Buffalo Bills, not Shedeur Sanders. So I don't know what to tell you. We'll be back next week. Till then, so long.